Welcome. Welcome to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, our special August edition, and special it is. I'm Ron Olesko. I'll be your MC this evening, and we have put together a special summer show. Now, I hope your summer's going well. I hope you're having a great time, maybe enjoying a vacation, a little getaway. But what we're doing here is we're reflecting on some of the great shows we've had here on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, where the heck have you been? We've been here since July of 2020, and we've had some incredible shows with really a who's who of the world of folk and acoustic music. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to give you 25 different performers and 25 different songs. Now, if you saw the publicity, it said 24, but we've added one more for the very end of the show to pay tribute to an individual who's meant so much to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, to Greenwich Village, and the world of folk music. That'll be coming up later. So I'm not going to tell you who we're going to see up front. We're going to have to just watch this together and enjoy these video clips. Now, what we're going to see are clips from our first 4 years of Greenwich Village Folk Festivals. We get together on the first Sunday of every month at the same time, same station. And we have always had some incredible performances from artists performing from their homes and elsewhere, to be quite honest. And I think tonight we've chosen just a few of our favorites. There's so many memorable moments. So it's not a best of show, but I think it's a show that'll give you a sampling of what the Greenwich Village Folk Festival is all about. Let's get rolling. I want to begin with, first of all, before I begin, I want to thank Rod MacDonald, who put all these videos together. He's actually out on vacation, and he managed to do all this during that time he's been off. So thanks to Rod, and he'll be with us a little bit later. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the connection comes through. But our first set of songs, since we begin on a Sunday, I think we should have a little message. And we've chosen a couple of artists here that I think really have some fine words to say and fine music. So let's begin. We're going to go back to August of 2022 and start with Joel Mabus.
This one falls under the category of getting it off my chest, okay? I've written hundreds of songs and all kinds of things, all kinds of moods, and sometimes you just gotta get something off your chest. The title of this one is A Special Kind of Hell. So you think you got away with it. You think nobody knows. You're the smartest person in the room. That's what you're thinking, I suppose. Well, there must come a reckoning. That's why I'm here to tell. They're building you a special kind of hell. Oh, there's a special kind of hell for folks like you. For all the things you done and those things you plan to do. There's 100 little devils just waiting in a line, sharpening the pitchforks to stick in your behind. They'll burn brimstone by the ton to hide your smell. Down there in your special kind of hell. Oh, there's a special kind of hell for bums like you. You'll be drinking kerosene, eating polecat barbecue. Your roommates will be crocodiles snapping at your toes, and smelly little rats will be nibbling your nose. And they got bagpipes playing out of tune as well. Down there in your special kind of hell. Oh, there's a special kind of hell for trash like you. You'll get lectures every hour from the old friends you have screwed, while exfoliating warthogs with a toothpick and a spoon and licking clean the backside of a very sick baboon. That's just one of many games they play so well down there in your special kind of hell. Oh, there's many more surprises I just don't have time to tell. Down there in your special kind of hell, in your dismal yet artisanal kind of hell. Yeah. Well,
Ruby, we're going to finish with a song dedicated to refugees everywhere. And I want to thank the Greenwich Village Folk Festival for having us. Hope you enjoy, and thanks a lot. Woke up this morning, I turned on the news. War everywhere, and we've got to choose the righteous way, or we'll have to pay. And everything I've loved is gone away. Well, they say it's time to leave this place for a new life so very far away. I can't go home, 'cause everything is wrong. Will I ever find a place in this world? I can't find my place in this world. Turned on the news today, it only made me sadder. So many friends dead, bruised and battered, and I'm wrapped so tight, still I have to fight just to make my way back into the light. And no one understands me here. Sometimes I feel like I just wanna disappear. Can't go home, 'cause everything is wrong. Will I ever find a place in this world? I can't find my place in this world. Oh, come to me now. Where did you go? Why did you forsake me for so long? Come to me now and take my hand. Oh, won't you show me the way home? Turned off the news today, and I finally took a stand. Always a stranger in a foreign land. My God has turned away, and I'm on my own. Nothing is certain, nothing known. Well, I can't be here and I can't be there. Gonna travel all my whole life through to who knows where I can't go home. My life there is done. Will I ever find a place in this world? I can't find my place in this world. Gonna have Thanks a lot, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to leave you with a little gospel number. If you didn't make it to church this morning, or if you don't make it to church on any Sunday morning, then I think this song counts for that. I'm so glad that my joy came back to me. I'm so glad that my joy came back to me. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that my joy at last came back to me. I'm so glad for the lessons that I learned. I'm so glad for the lessons that I learned. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that I'm glad for the lessons that I learned. I'm so glad that I live to tell the tale. I'm so glad that I live to tell the tale. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that I lived at last to tell the tale. I'm so glad that my joy came back to me.
Came back to me,
I'm so glad that my joy came back to me.
came back to me.
Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that my joy at last came back to me. I'm so glad that my joy came back to me. I'm so glad that my joy came back to me. I can hear you singing along. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that my joy at last came back to me. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that my joy at last came back to me. Yes, I cried and I prayed until that blessed day that my joy at last came back to me.
And that was the Heather Pearson duo. That was a performance given in February of 2022. Before that, we heard from Reggie Garrett and Christine Gunn, also February 2022. And from August of that same year, Joel Mabus, some great performances that have appeared on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And today we are celebrating the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, the first 4 years. We are playing some highlights. We have actually 25 performances that we're going to share with you tonight. One song each, just to give you a little sampling of some of the things we do. And this is all possible because of folks like you, our viewers and listeners who have donated so generously to our tip jar. And this is a free festival. It's a gift to the community, but we do appreciate and we do need your support to keep going. We maintain archives. We keep all of the nearly 50 different episodes that we've done since we came back in July of 2020. They're all archived on YouTube. The website has links and biographical information about all the artists that have appeared. So if you can help us, you'll see in the chat feature, you'll find links to how you can make your donation, or you can just go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, and donate that way as well. You'll find ways you can send a check if you'd rather not donate online. Well, let's continue with the music. One of the great things about folk music is that it how was it? I think Phil Oakes once said something, it's stories ripped from the headlines. He was a journalist first. And so many artists have felt the need to comment on stories that we're facing. And that's certainly been shown here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. So we put together a couple of artists who have certainly talked about some very important subjects. And we'll begin with a legend himself. Here's Tom Paxton from 2022 at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival.
I know this song is 20 years old. I know that because on September 11th, we observed 20 years since the towers came down in blood and flames. As it was going on, as I was watching it, I thought to myself, this is above my pay grade. I'm not able to do justice to. I can't write this song. This is too much for me. But over the next couple of days, I kept thinking of those firefighters, 343 of them, going up those stairs to certain death while everyone else was running down. And the chorus to the song almost wrote itself, and it was only then that I started to write the verses. But this is in their loving memory. The first plane hit the other tower right after I came in. Left a fiery, gaping hole where offices had been. We stood and watched in horror as we saw the first ones fall. Then someone yelled, get out, they're trying to kill us all. I grabbed the pictures from my desk, joined the flight to life. With every step I called the names of my children and my wife. And then we heard them coming up from several floors below. A crowd of firefighters with their heavy gear in tow. Now every time I try to sleep, I'm haunted by the sound of firemen pounding up the stairs while we were running down. And when we met them on the stairs, they said we were too slow. Get out, they yelled at us. The whole thing's gonna go. They didn't have to tell us twice. We'd seen the world on fire. We kept on running down the stairs while they kept climbing high. Thank God we made it to the street. We ran through ash and smoke. I didn't know which way to run. I thought that I would choke. A fireman took me by the arm, pointed me uptown. And then Christ, I heard him whisper as the tower came roaring down. So now I go to funerals for men I never knew. The pipers play Amazing Grace as the coffins come in view. They must have seen it coming when they turned to face the fire. They set us down to safety, then they kept on climbing high. Now every time I try to sleep, I'm haunted by the sound of firemen pounding up the stairs while we were running down. A fireman pounding up the stairs while we were running down.
Beautiful.
This is a song written by great British songwriter Leon Rosselson, who many of you will know. He wrote it in 2014 when Israel was bombing Gaza back then. Only killed 2,000 people that time by comparison to what's going on now. But I think it's a terrific song. I have always. So I asked him if I could, I said I'd like to sing it, and could I bring it up to date? And I was honored that he trusted me to do that. So for the first time ever, this version of Rivka and Muhammad. I was watching the news from Gaza, and I closed my eyes in despair. And when I opened my eyes again, a young girl was standing there. She said, "My name is Rivka. They killed me because I'm a Jew. I died in the ghetto of Vilna in 1942. The ghetto was like a prison. They wouldn't allow us to leave. Some said they were going to kill us all. We didn't know what to believe. That day I wore my new red dress my Bobby had made for me. And in the crowded ghetto, it made me feel proud and free. I looked up at the soldier, I looked him in the eye. I forgot to bow my head down, and so I had to die. He smashed my head with his rifle because I was too bold. I was killed in the Vilna ghetto when I was 7 years old. From out of the darkness, a young boy's gaze met mine. He said, "My name is Muhammad. My country is Palestine. I've lived all my life in Gaza, and the only time I feel free is when I go down to the harbor and feel the wind from the sea." That day I went with my cousins down to the beach to play, and a soldier fired a shell at us and blew my life away. They think they can crush our spirit. They want us to feel afraid, locked up in the prison of Gaza, the prison that they have made. We are not their children. Our lives mean nothing to them. I was killed on the beach at Gaza when I had just turned 10. They call us human animals, and they're the chosen race. Muhammad, my brother, said, "Rivka, this world is a cold, cold place." Muhammad, my friend, my brother, let us leave this world of war. Then each took the hand of the other, and then they were seen no more. And I was all alone again, back watching the evening news. And every face was a mannequin, and every word an excuse for all of the children murdered, and all of the leaders' lies, and all of the men who profit from the bullets, the bombs, and the bribes. But I will not keep silent, nor pretend I hadn't known. And all of our voices together have the force of water on stone. And all of our voices together have the force of water on stone.
Ooh. Ooh.
The leading cause of death in children right now is gun violence. Not just from schools, but gun violence itself. But I wanted to sing this song because it's for the teachers, so many of whom we have lost. We have lost teachers because they just can't cope. They just can't teach. It's become a whole different kind of a profession now. All of her life she wanted to teach, so much to share. Classrooms were safe, children were learning, no empty chairs. Watching the spark, knowledge unfolding, joy everywhere. But now the classrooms are war zones. The halls are all watched close, locked in and locked down. Now she carries a gun. It shouldn't be scared, shouldn't have trauma from going to school. No helping hands, no sharing of lunches, no golden rule. They're guarded and gated, searched as they enter for a weapon or tool. And the classrooms are war zones. The halls are all watched close, locked in and locked down. They make her carry a gun. She's learned how to shoot, not what she studied for. Carries a gun, not what she worked for. Her teacher's certificate never implied she'd be wearing a weapon. Oh, how will she survive? All of her life she read to the children. Now the books are all banned. No self-expression, no real discussion. The lectures are canned. Diversity waning, conspiracy rampant all across the land. And the classrooms are war zones. The halls are all watched close, locked in and locked down. Now she carries a gun. All of her life she wanted to teach, so much to share. Classrooms were safe, children were learning, no empty chairs. Watching the spark, the knowledge unfolding, joy everywhere. But now the classrooms are war zones. The halls are all watched close, locked in and locked down. Now she carries a gun. They make her carry a gun. Oh, she carries a gun. Please don't make her carry a gun. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And that was Tret Fury. Tret is just an amazing artist. I saw her a couple weeks ago at the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, and she put on an amazing set of songs. Also in that set, we heard from Bob Boson, and that was from April of this year, and Tom Paxton going back to 2022 with this song that was so powerful right after 9/11 that was released. You're listening to and watching highlights of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And coming up a little later in the program, we are going to be talking with Ray Mysick and Rod MacDonald from the festival and getting a little bit of history about what it's all about. This is an ongoing event. We came back in 2020 during the pandemic, but the original Greenwich Village Folk Festival was going on in the 1980s in, of course, Greenwich Village. So we'll talk to them a little bit later in the program. And for those of you watching at home, I'm looking at the chat feature. We are live tonight, and I'm looking on YouTube, and it looks pretty quiet out there. So, if you're out there and you have any questions, now's a great time to ask, because we'll be happy to answer them for you. And talk among yourselves, too. I always love how every month we see so many people getting together, not only watching, but chatting in YouTube and Facebook, and it's a real community that's built up, and we're really enjoying this. And by the way, we are going to be back doing live shows next month on September 1st, Labor Day weekend. We'll be here, and we have a Phil Oakes song night coming up in October, and we're working ahead as well. So we'll tell you about that later on in the show. But let's get back to some music. One of the real impressive items that I've always enjoyed about these monthly gatherings is the sheer talent that's out there. And considering that most of these people are playing in their living rooms or basements or kitchen tables, they're still creating some amazing music. And we have some real virtuosos who have been with us over the years. And here's a little set that'll, I think, sample just some of that. We'll begin with Robert Ross, a festival favorite. And this is a performance he gave here in December of 2023. Robert Ross.
This is called If I Had Known. If I had known that I would live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Too much wine, women, and song can take a heavy toll on your health. Oh, I burned the candle at both ends. If I had it to do over, would I do it again? If I had known that I would live this long, I sure have raised a lot of hell in my day. I had my fun. I went too far and got carried away, but I sure paid for what I done. I can't complain that I got a raw deal, 'cause I had a ball. And just considering how badly I feel, I'm lucky to be here at all. If I had known that I would live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Too much wine, women, and song can take a heavy toll on your health. Oh, I burned the candle at both ends. If I had it to do over, would I do it again? If I had known that I would live this long. You're just as old as you feel in your head. that's what they say. But I feel just like I'm gonna drop dead. Maybe I'll be better off that way. If I had known that I would live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Too much wine, women, and song can take a heavy toll on your health. Oh, I burned the candle at both ends. If I had it to do over, would I do it again? If I had known that I would live this long. If only I had known that I would live this long. Only I had known that I would live this long. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Super glad to hear everybody play tonight. And I'm going to sing you Bird by Bird. Here it goes. Oh, it sounds good. Trouble isn't easy, no. Trouble brings doubt. Fear comes in and the joy goes out. Trouble isn't easy, no. Trouble brings doubt. Fear comes in and the joy goes out. How we gonna make it? Yeah, what are we gonna do? How we gonna make it when trouble comes through? We'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. Stone by stone, we'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. We'll take it stone by stone. Woo, yeah. Change isn't easy, no, change is hard. Fear comes in and it can tear you apart. How we gonna make it? Yeah, what are we gonna do? How we gonna make it when change comes through? We'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. Stone by stone, we'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. We'll take it stone by stone. Yeah, dreams aren't easy, no. Dreams get lost. Fear comes in and the dream gets tossed. How we gonna make it? Yeah, what are we gonna do? How we gonna make this dream come true? We'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. Stone by stone, we'll take it bird by bird. Bird by bird, we'll take it stone by stone. We'll take it stone by stone.
That, of course, is called took a while to get there, but that was Home on the Range.
Home on the Range, Peter Callow. And I heard you folks singing along at home. You know the words. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, that was a performance from February of 2022. Peter Callow is a master musician and producer. And before that, we heard Joe Crookston, and that was a little reworking of one of his classic songs. I can call it that because it's been sung by a number of artists over the years. It's also in a couple of song compilation books as well. But Joe is doing something a little creative on that particular version. He's one of the most creative artists that I know, Joe Crookston. That was a performance December 2023. And Robert Ross kicked off this set, also December 2023, another longtime favorite of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Well, this is an event that's been going on virtually since July of 2020. We've been here on the first Sunday of every month, and we're doing a highlight show this month. We'll be back live next month. Well, we're live tonight too. I'm sitting here, this is real. And we have two of the gentlemen who are responsible for this event. And I'm not talking about just this live event, but they would go back to the 1980s when the Greenwich Village Folk Festival was an in-person event that took place in, of all places, Greenwich Village. It started in 1987. And they're with us now, Rod MacDonald and Ray Mysick. Gentlemen, are you there? Through the magic of the internet? There's Rod. Ray, you around?
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Good to see you, Rod. Where are you now? You're not in Florida yet, are you? You're still on vacation?
I'm in New Orleans.
New Orleans, nice.
I went yesterday to see the Satchmo Summerfest.
Whoa. Sounds like fun. And somehow you managed to have time to piece all of these songs together for us. So thank you to take time away for your vacation to do this. That shows your dedication.
My pleasure. It gives me something to do at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I see Ray's trying to join us as well. Ray, are you there, Ray? Can we hear you, or we don't see your video?
All right, I'm here. All right.
Well, there you are. There you are. I'm looking at another screen. I'm sorry. I got too many screens in front of me. Okay. Good to see you, Ray.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Good to see you.
Now you're home, right? You're not on vacation anywhere. You're just enjoying this.
Okay, I am up in the Catskills. Okay, not too far from Bethel Woods, where the original Woodstock was.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're having a great summer, both of you. Well, I'm so happy to be part of this. You guys asked me to help co-MC back in 2020, and I've looked forward to this every month. But I remember this was an actual in-person event, and I wonder if one of you could tell us a little bit of the history. How did this all get started?
Well, I guess I could do that. I just got out of the shower. I we were hanging out in the village in September of 1987 and had the idea to have an outdoor festival, and it kind of it just we expected it to be kind of a local event. We originally had a permit for the softball field over on Hudson Street. We had four of us. There were Ray and I, and also Jay Rosen and Jerry Hinson. Jerry got us a permit from the city, and Jay Rosen got us a sound crew, and we were all set to go. And we just started walking around the village and asking people if they wanted to play, who would like to be in it. And it kind of took off when Richie Havens agreed to headline our first show. In fact, Richie was supposed to go to Israel, and when we asked him to do it, he rescheduled his flights to Israel so he could be in the first folk festival. Wow. He said he'd been waiting all his life for there to be a Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and he wasn't going to miss it for anything.
Oh, that's a great story.
So I think that was one of the first signs that we were onto something good here. But then the weather turned really cold, and we ended up moving it without any warning on the day of the show to the Washington Square Church. And even without any warning, we just stuck a few flyers around the streets saying it was going on. We had the church filled up to capacity immediately, 300 people. Practically before anybody sang a note. And then we had people waiting outside to get in. We couldn't let them in until people left. So we started at 3 p.m. for the first concert, and we went till about 10 o'clock at night. 35 artists, everybody doing 2 songs except for Richie, who did, I think, 4 probably, something like that.
That's fantastic. And a lot of it was recorded. I know there's some videos floating around on YouTube, and a couple of CDs were issued, if I remember correctly, back in those days.
The first one was such a kind of surprise to all of us. Ray and I on Friday night before the show were walking around to clubs, walking up to people who just finished playing and saying, "Hey, want to be at a free folk festival on Sunday?" And they go, "What's it pay?" And we'd say, "Nothing, It's a volunteer thing, but you get there'll be some people there, and it'll be fun, and if you got the community spirit, you'll have a good time." And almost nobody said no. But what happened was that we didn't think of recording the first show. We were lucky to even get it off the ground. And then Jerry Hinson made a cassette tape of Richie Havens' set on one of those condenser mic CD cassette players. And sometime about a month or 2 after the first show, when we were deciding, let's try and do it again this same time next year, first Sunday of October, Jerry sat us down and he played us the cassette tape he'd made of Richie's set. And it was mind-bogglingly good. It was so good. And we all looked at each other and went, okay, from now on, we're recording every show. And we've recorded every show. And during the early 90s, I got a video camera and I recorded the 93 show by myself, just kind of stuck it out in the middle of the crowd, and then forgot to change the tape. So we missed about half the middle of the show, but some of it's on YouTube. The 1993 show is what I was able to salvage from that. And we've recorded the audio for all the live ones, and a video of all the ones that we've saved, the video of all the ones we've done since the pandemic started.
It's been phenomenal. And Ray, the idea to bring this back in 2020, you guys stopped in 94, if I remember correct.
Right.
How did the idea come back? I guess it was the pandemic, but.
Well, on that one, even a couple of years before the pandemic, Rod would sort of like ask, well, is it time to bring it back? Is it time to bring it back? And it was more a matter of, we needed a purpose. And, it wasn't really working as far as having a live show. It was difficult and everything. So, it was really just with the pandemic that we seemed to have a purpose again. And, it really just took us 2 weeks in order to pull together that first show in July of 2020. The artists, were right, right on board. It wasn't the most diverse performer list, but that was really just because we got people based on availability and 2 weeks notice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, after that first show, things started to come together as far as MCs and technical staff and some volunteers to help us, create the website and to do all the pre and post production that's required. But also we were lucky that early on we were a nonprofit, and that was actually the Ben and Jerry's folks almost like urged us to become a nonprofit, and it was just a matter of keeping the organization active, and we just it came alive with the pandemic and the online stream shows.
Mm-hmm. And here we are in the pandemic. I don't know if you can even say the pandemic is over, but it's in a different phase. But people are back to work, but artists are out again, and I know it's harder getting people since everybody's touring again. But the two of you have been managing to put this on, and let's hope we can continue on for many more months to come. I know it's a challenge, but I think what you both have created, that archive alone. I know Christine Lavin has said this. This is something that people are going to look at 50, 100 years from now and get a real good glimpse of what this music was about. And the Greenwich Village has certainly changed. I know, Rod, you're living in Florida these days, and Ray, you're upstate New York, so it's it's not the same, but yet you're managing to keep that spirit alive every first Sunday of the month, and bringing in new artists who, back in the 80s would have been on that stage with you, right there in Greenwich Village. So
I think there is I think there is a kind of Greenwich Village sensibility to the music. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not sure that it can really be described, or at least not, I don't know how, but there is a sort of sense of stuff. Every music scene has a kind of a kernel of what makes it distinct. I'm here in New Orleans, for example, and as we're speaking, and we went yesterday and saw, we've seen 4 New Orleans-based acts in the last couple of days, including one called the New Orleans Suspects, and yesterday the Dirty Dozen Brass Band, and they're all really great. I mean, great musicianship and wonderful. But I would have to say it's a very distinct form of music. It's very groove-oriented and rhythmic. The rhythm is amazing, really amazing. The rhythm sections of these bands and the players. They all have horn sections. They'll have a trombone, saxophone, trumpet, sometimes a couple of each, and a tuba. The Dirty Dozen Brass Band doesn't have an electric bass. They have a tuba playing bass, and I mean, you just can't move your feet. Can't stop moving your feet when you're listening to these bands. But I will say this: there's not a kind of lyrical sensibility to it very much. It's mostly rhythm, groove. A lot of, hey, everybody, put your hands together. It's a fun time. It's real party music. I think the Village, let's say by comparison, has always had a sense that the songwriters, the people, that the songs have some kind of message. Even when they were old songs from the 19th century, they often had a kind of message about the old style of life, and many of them had a message that was indirectly relevant to the civil rights movement and things like that. And so, I think one of the things that distinguishes the Village is a certain lyrical content, a certain, I don't know how to put it, emotional and intellectual impact that the songs have, apart from the performance of the songs themselves. And I guess that's something that we've tried to preserve in keeping it going. We look for a wide range of musicianship, people who are, we have instrumental players, but they're always very, very, very good and have something distinctly unique about what they're doing, like Professor Louis or Nick Carter, guys like that. And the songwriters usually have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Even the younger ones, Ron, you've been booking some of the people that are coming around with new CDs around the country, and it's amazing the level of intelligence and content that are in all these songs we're hearing. So I think that we have a distinct role to play in the music universe, and I just think that we are, that's kind of what makes this festival in Greenwich Village, even if it's not physically located in Greenwich Village.
Mhm.
That's what kind of makes the music scene there distinct.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been doing my radio show since 1980, and I look at some of the younger artists coming up, and I think they wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the work that all of you did back in the 1980s in Greenwich Village. The whole fast folk musicians cooperative, speakeasy, Spoke City, all of these places really help inspire new generations. And I think,
In our second concert that we ever had at the Washington Square Church, Peter Yarrow appeared in the show, and he came backstage. Everybody came backstage. All the musicians dumped their guitars in this tiny little room, and we had to make them go out and leave and go out and sit in the audience because there wasn't enough room for everybody to hang out there. We had 35 people on the bill. And so he came backstage and he sat down with me and he said, I want to tell you how exciting it is for me that you're doing this. I really want you to know how much it means to me that you guys are doing this, that you're carrying on the work that we feel we inherited from the people before us. He was very sincere about this, and he gave me a big hug, and then went out, of course, and did a bang up set. But right from the very beginning of that first show, from Richie's response, and then from Peter and Odetta and Tom Paxton and the other people who came and joined us, I always had that sense that it meant something to these folks, what we were doing. And now, for better or worse, I'm one of the senior citizens probably in this kind of scene now, and it's exciting to me to see so many really talented young singer-songwriters coming along, not only making CDs, submitting to Folk Music Notebook, but also I've been to Falcon Ridge a couple times in the last 4 or 5 years where I was on the bill there, and I stick around and watch a lot of the younger acts, and it's really exciting. I don't know if the record business is ever going to catch on to it, but or the radio will ever open its doors and play anything that isn't right-wing music. But I do think that there's a real important thing going on among a younger generation than myself in acoustic music.
and I think the new generations, they're making their own stages and such, and maybe a little different from what we were used to, but the music is out there, and I think we're going to see it in the sets coming up. Rod, Ray, Ray,
Okay, one final thing here that I want to add, and that is just that I very much appreciate the community, involved here. The community is both our audience of listeners and all, but certainly the performers are just rooting for each other and appreciating each other's music, and all right. I enjoy and like continuing this stuff just because of that type of camaraderie and community, amongst everybody.
Hear, hear.
Good words. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Rod. And we're going to listen now to some more wonderful highlights, and we'll talk more later. And also we'll let everybody know about what's coming up in the months to come. And remind everybody that there is that tip jar. If you'd like to see this continue and like to help us out, please, by all means, we could use your donations. Again, this is a free event. It's our gift to the community, but you can help us carry this on and do even more in the future. So check it out. It's in in the chat feature, or go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. Ray Misek and Rod McDonald, again, thanks for being here today. And thanks for putting all this together. And let's get back to the music. As Rod was talking about the lyricism of the village, I think there are some wonderful storytellers out there. And this next set is going to begin with a few of the younger artists, so shall we say. who are carrying on tradition, and also a gentleman who is going to sing a song that he wrote, which is about an event that took place 75 years ago tomorrow. And I'll tell you about that in a little while. But right now, here is Kirsten Maxwell from February of 2022.
It's a personalized song written for someone who contributed to my last Kickstarter campaign, very generously gave and in return received this song. And so he asked me to write about the Merchant Marines. And we got together and we talked about what type of song it could be. And he gave me a book called Woody, Cisco, and Me, written by a man named Jim Longhi about his time in the Merchant Marines with Cisco Houston and Woody Guthrie. And so I used the book as the foundation for the song. And it's called Gabrielle because Jim had a girlfriend who then became his wife named Gabrielle that he was hoping to get home to. And so it's written from the perspective of Jim Longhi. For to a room, we are three. It's just Woody, Cisco, and me, with a porthole in the cabin between us and the sea. Oh, I know I could have stayed. Crossed my mind on the final day. I watched the gangway leave the shore. There's no going back anymore. Some might say that it's for the glory, some for the money, others for the story. I guess I went 'cause I thought it was the right thing to do. Gone are the days we were born to ramble. Every night is another gamble. I said my prayers, but I didn't know who I was praying to. Oh, Gabrielle, I hope I make it home to you. The first night a ship went down, I remember the sound. There was nothing we could do but point our guns into the blue. I thought back to New York in that downtown music store. Woody bought his killing machine. Our best weapon is the song we sing. Some might say that it's for the glory, some for the money, others for the story. I guess I went 'cause I thought it was the right thing to do. Gone are the days we were born to ramble. Every night is another gamble. I said my prayers, but I didn't know who I was praying to. Oh, Gabrielle, I hope I make it home to you. All aboard the Willie B, made of steel and liberty. Oh, Gabrielle, if she treats us well and I come home, will you marry me? As the ship rolled in a storm, Woody kept our voices warm. If we sang loud and long, we might make it until the dawn. I told the boys what Einstein said, we never know what's coming next. That's what makes life worth living. But please let the ocean be forgiving. Some might say that it's for the glory, some for the money, others for the story. I guess I went 'cause I thought it was the right thing to do. Gone are the days we were born to ramble. Every night is another gamble. I said my prayers, but I didn't know who I was praying to. Oh, Gabrielle, I hope
So the next song I'm going to do, it was this another song I got out of the newspaper, but this is back when I was living in Nashville, which is where I grew up, and they were digging up an old gas station to put in a Chick-fil-A or something, and they had to come to a stop because they found human bones in the ground, and those bones were from the Civil War, from the Battle of Franklin in 1864, and so I started doing some studying on that battle, and I ended up writing this song based on the accounts of a 5-year-old little girl who was hiding out in the cellar on her family farm where the battle was fought, in the Carter family, and her name was little Annie Carter, and this is called Leave Your Gun. They call this place a valley of death, but to me it is my only home. It's all I have left. When the war came to our farm, we hid in the cellared earth till the guns silenced, but the smoke still took our breath. Dead Union soldier, fatal wound to the gut, but his hands are still clutching that gun, just like he forgot. Shallow grave and a prayer to the Lord above, and a wooden cross where we laid him, right there in that mud. Somebody's father, somebody's son, or some red-blooded woman's only one. Boy, you can rest here, your work is done. Go on to heaven, brother, leave your gun. Oh, now these Tennessee hills won't ever be the same. I can see blood running down the valley in my restless dreams. 1,000 bullet holes in my father's walls and beams, and we're glad for the wounded who die in their sleep. Somebody's father, somebody's son, or some red-blooded woman's only one. Boy, you can rest now, your work is done. Young Todd Carter fought alongside those southern men, but caught a bullet in the belly and laid up 3 days in my bed. And Mama cried out loud when he shivered hard at the end, and the angels took him home to Jesus, I reckon. And he was my brother, my father's son, my poor dear mother's beloved one. Boy, you can rest here, your work is done. Go on to heaven, go on to heaven, go on to heaven, my brother, where you won't need your gun.
So this is a story that I found in a bar in a place called Portadown in Northern Ireland. After a gig, got taken to this place, real old school Irish pub called McConville's. Tile floors, line of snugs along the wall that you can sit in. A little thing in the snug like this you pull here that makes a tab go up over there behind the bar to tell the bartender you need another drink. And I got to speaking with the bartender, Eamon. And when I first met Eamon, he was 55. He'd been working in the bar since he was 15 years old, knew where all the skeletons were buried, and he loved that place. And he wouldn't rest, but that before I left the bar, I had to have a drink of their whiskey, because they brewed their own whiskey called McConville's. And I'm a big fan of Irish whiskey, not so much a fan of Scotch. And tasted this whiskey, and it was fantastic. And I asked Eamon if I could buy a bottle to take back for my da, who was feeling poorly on this side of the water at the time. And because he was born just down the road from Portadown. And so I asked Eamon if I could buy a bottle to take home for my da, and he said no. I said, really? And I said, why? And he says, well, the rule with McConville's is the only place you can drink McConville's is in McConville's. We don't sell bottles to take away. And I said, you're telling me that in 90 years, a bottle of that whiskey has never left this bar? And he said, well, happened once, and he told me that he was the cause of it. And this is the story he told me about that. I work down at McConville's. That's the pub behind the square. If ever you're in Portadown, anyone could point you there. And we have lagers, ales, and porters, but the thing that brings them in is the whiskey that McConville brews. That's where this all begins. In all the years I've worked there, and for 50 years before, not a bottle of the sweet stuff ever walked outside the door. 'Cause McConville laid the rule down, and it was honored till today. You can drink your fill while at the bar, but the bottle has to stay. And 6 or 7 years ago, when young Jimmy first came by, he was looking for a local. We were the third place that he'd tried. And he looked around, no ferns, no telly blaring from the bar. And once he tried the whiskey, Jimmy never strayed too far. And he'd come in after dinner for an hour, maybe more. He'd play some cards and talk and joke, 'cause that's what a local's for. And before he'd leave most nights, because the bottles had to stay, he'd ask me for whiskey just to see him on his way. And 3 days ago his mate came in, and he said Jimmy took a fall from a roof that he was working on, and he had no chance at all. And today after the funeral, after burying young Jim, they came here to his second home. The mourners crowded in. Then I did a thing I never thought I'd do till it was done. I took a bottle from the shelf and held it up for everyone. I said rules are made for breaking, Tonight the whiskey leaves the bar. An auction for the family who'll give me 50 pounds to start. And at 500 pounds the bidding stopped. And no, you couldn't hear her rise but for the roar as Jimmy's mate stepped up and laid their pay packs down. And I can't believe I did it. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd hand someone the bottle and then watch it walk away. And as I was headed home tonight, I passed the graveyard by, and I swear that I heard singing and silhouetted on the sky with Jimmy's friends, and they were pouring something on his grave, a little offering for young Jim to see him on his way. And I worked down at McConville's. That's the pub behind the square. And if ever you're in Portadown, anyone can point you there.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm so honored to be amongst this company, as everybody has mentioned tonight. All people that I respect and whose music I love.
And that was James Keelan. That was a song that was based on a true story, McConville's. Now, I mentioned before that he wrote a song that I'm sure many of you know. The song Cold Missouri Waters. It's been performed by people like Cry, Cry, Cry. And it's a song that I think tells the story that a lot of people would not have been aware of, which I think some of the finest folk songs have done. The song Cold Missouri Waters was about a fire that took place in 1949, August 5th, 1949. It was known as the Man Gulch Fire in the Helena National Forest in Montana. It claimed 13 lives, including 12 of the smoke jumpers who jumped in trying to fight that fire. And that song from James Keelan has become a classic, and tomorrow is the 75th anniversary of that event. So getting back to some of the things that Rod was saying earlier about the importance of the lyrics and the stories that we're hearing, I think that says a lot. As speaking of saying a lot, Louise Mosricum, that was a performance that she gave on the festival in September of 2022. She's been here a couple of times. And we also heard Kirsten Maxwell, February of 2022 was that performance. Powerful songwriters, and there's many more to come. You're watching a very special edition of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. We're here live tonight, but we're playing recorded highlights from our first 4 years of these wonderful events that take place on the first Sunday of every month. And again, I want to thank everybody who's been donating to our tip jar, and just remind you that we could use your help to keep this going, to keep our archives going, to keep the performers going, and to keep this event in the sense of community. I'm just watching on YouTube. I see a few people are now chiming in to say hello. And we're broadcasting on folkmusicnotebook.com. And right now we have listeners all across the US and also in Brazil and Germany. So yeah, this event means a lot to a lot of people. Well, people mean a lot to people. What do I mean by that? We have a selection of songs now from artists who not only cover the songs of some of their friends, but also pay tribute to them in song. And we're going to hear a couple of those tunes in this set. We'll begin with David Roth, who pays tribute to one of our co-MCs, Christine Lavin, We actually celebrated a birthday on this event a couple of years ago for her. And she has been one of the folk music community and Greenwich Village folk scene's biggest cheerleaders. And here's a song about her performed by David Roth, recorded in January of this year at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Here's David Roth.
I moved to New York City in 1980 after a backpacking trip around the world with my best friend. And I landed in Newark Airport in the summer of 1980. And we go from there. I got a little place in 1980, 6th Avenue and 12th Street in my new town. One Monday night I took a stroll. I heard some music, oh my soul, and that's the night my whole life turned around. My footsteps took me down to Greenwich Village, and through a looking glass a vision came. A bunch of people taking turns with voices and guitars, and I knew that I would never be the same. As I came to be acquainted with these writers and their songs, I thought maybe I could write some of my own. There was Jack and Rod and Paul and Frank, Suzanne, Ruth Ann and Brian and Cliff, David, Hugh, Lucy, Josh and Sean. Too many more to name here, but you know who you are. And one stood out, a real living doll. Oh, she would have us think that we were ready for the big time by the way that she would cheerlead for us all. That's Christine. That's Christine. Generous and kind and smart and never ever mean. That would be your friend and mine, Christine. When Julie Gold came up with From a Distance, Chris was taking tapes all over town. Nancy Griffith saw the light, and then the tune took off, and Bette Midler won a Grammy with that song. The first time Christine played at Gracie Mansion, she called me up the next day, all abuzz. She said that Mayor Ed loved folk musicians, and I got to play that gig 2 times because that's Christine. That's Christine. Generous and kind and smart and never ever mean. That would be your friend and mine, Christine. She took guitar from Dave Van Ronk and networked all around. An unelected leader of a sacred underground. She got me right between the eyes when she wrote about those new age guys. No one has the kind of mind for doing what she does. And just as if that weren't enough, she twirls batons and other stuff, like folding napkins, knitting, doing nails, and all because that's Christine. That's Christine. Generous and kind and smart and never ever mean. That would be your friend and mine, Christine. Ah, sing with me. That's Christine. That's Christine. Selfless, thoughtful, full of grace, and never ever mean. That would be your friend and mine, Christine. that would be your friend and mine, Christine.
Woohoo! Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Christine. There's Rod.
Ever again, the morning creeps across your shoulders. Through the frosted window pane, the sun grows bolder. Your hair flows down your pillow, you're still sleepy. I think I'll wake you now and hold you, tell you again the things I've told you. Behold, I give you the morning, I give you the day. Through the waving curtain wall, the sun is streaming. Far behind your flickering eyelids, you're still dreaming. You're dreaming of the good times and you're smiling. I think I'll wake you now and hold you, tell you again the things I told you. Behold, I give you the morning, I give you the day. Close beneath the windowsill, the earth is humming. Like an eager Christmas child, the day is coming. Listen to the morning, the song it's singing. Think I'll wake you now and hold you, tell you again the things I told you. Behold, I give you the morning, I give you the day. Like an antique ballroom fan, your eyelids flutter. Sunlight streams across your eye through open shutters. Now I think you're ready for the journey. Think I'll wake you now and hold you, tell you again the things I told you. Behold, I give you the I give you the day.
Wow.
The last song we're going to do is a medley that we were asked to put together in tribute to Odetta for a concert at Symphony Space just a couple of years ago, and Chris Lavin and John McCutcheon were both on that bill too, along with so many other amazing folk musicians. We were so honored to be part of it, and we were honored to create this tribute to celebrate Bob Sherman's 50th anniversary on the air with Woody's Children. But before we break into the song, Seth is going to tell you a little Odetta story.
A short Odetta story. So Odetta was very particular about, you know, everything related to when we used to travel together and tour together, and she was particular about things right close to the performance time, you know, where the jug of water was and what time the knock on the door was telling her for 5 minutes before the show, things like that. So right at the beginning we started working together, and the stage manager would come and bang on the door in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and it would kind of throw her. And she said to me, I want him to tell you, and then you knock on the door and tell me. That'll make me feel more comfortable. I said, all right, that seems easy enough. And then she said, and I need to show you the secret knock so that I know it's you. Now I got kind of excited. I was thinking maybe it might be some kind of iconic folk rhythm from the early 50s, maybe. So she goes, okay, let me show you how the knock is. It's like this. I said, that's it? One? She said, yeah, that's it. I said, all right, I could do that. So I went and told the stage manager, listen, don't knock anymore. You tell me, I'll tell her. So a few minutes later, he comes and tells me, okay, listen, it's 5 minutes now. So I went over to the dressing room door, pretty excited for my new job, and I went, and from inside, she yells, not so loud.
The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is a road to ride. The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. And if you wanna ride it, gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island line. The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is a road to ride. The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. And if you wanna ride it, gotta ride it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island line. A, B, C, W, X, Y, Z. The cat's in the cupboard and it can't see me. I may be right or wrong. 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 I may be right. You know you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I may be right or wrong. I heard Odetta sing. It was a holy sound. I saw her shine her light, shine it all around. And with a mighty roar, she left us feeling fine. She's up there riding on that Rock Island line. Where you wake up in the morning, you hear the work bell ring, and then you march it to the table. You hear the same old thing, lit the midnight special, shine a light on me. The midnight special, shine its ever-loving light on me, light on me, light on me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm
The Quayler Farber Family Band. That was just beautiful. That is a recording that was done in December of 2020 here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. A song in tribute to the one and only Odetta. She was such an amazing woman. I cherish those memories of seeing her, getting to interview her, and seeing how she encouraged other artists as well. And I love that story that Seth was telling about her too. That was Odetta, all right. Not so loud. I can hear her doing that. Also in that set, we heard Buffalo Rose. They're a group out of Pittsburgh, and they've been doing some work with Tom Paxton. And that performance they gave here on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival in January of 2023, when we had a special month's edition honoring Tom Paxton on the, what was his 80th birthday, I believe, at that time. It was such fun and such beautiful music from them. And David Roth and his tribute song to Christine Lavin, again from January of this year on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. You know, when I was talking to Ray and Rod before, we were talking about the village, and I was cleaning out my desk the other day, and I guess this is a sign that I should clean it out more often. You probably can't see this, but this is a matchbook cover from Speakeasy, which closed, I guess, in the late 90s, if I remember correctly. But it says here, Speakeasy, folk music nightly, and open 7 nights a week at 180, oh, I need better glasses, 187 McDougal Street. Is that the right number? I have the right address? Such fun times were had there. Yeah, the Greenwich Village scene is a lot different these days, but we're keeping the spirit of it alive here on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival and introducing you to new artists who I'm sure would have been right at home on the stage of Speakeasy and Folk City and all those other wonderful clubs that unfortunately many are no longer in existence, but their memories live on. And oh, by the way, speaking of that, let's do a shout out to a gentleman who's usually watching with his wife, Eileen. And I'm talking about Alan Pepper. Alan and Eileen watch this program every month. And Alan was the founder of The Bottom Line, co-founder of The Bottom Line. And we want to wish them well. We're going to continue on with some more great music. We have more to come. We're doing 25 artists today. I know the press releases said 24, but we've added an extra, and I'll explain that later on. But right now, we're going to head to that wonderful old folk instrument, the piano, or the electric keyboard in some cases. This is a performance from Ellis Paul, December of 2020. Here's Ellis.
It's just called California, and anybody that's in California will understand. California, California, California. You get the best of everything, the best of everything. Marilyn Monroe and the Hollywood sign, the Pacific Ocean, the finest wine, the Golden Gate and the sweet sunshine. You make it hard to be from Arkansas. California, California, California. You get the best of everything, the best of everything. Avocados and redwood trees, the Big Sur Highway in Yosemite, the Beach Boys singing in harmony. You make it hard to be from Idaho. Now I've got nothing against New Mexico, New York, Georgia, or Ohio. There's just a place I long to go. I think you know, it ain't Idaho. California, California, California. You get the best of everything, the best of everything. The Joshua Tree and the grizzly bear, Disneyland and Fred Astaire, surfer girls with their golden hair. You make it hard to be from anywhere. Oh, you make it hard to be from anywhere. God only knows what I'd be without you. Wow. Hey, thanks so much for having me, guys.
In the process of doing the last album, I was writing a lot of a bit difficult topics, and I was concerned until I came upon the idea of a lullaby. And you all know lullabies in every culture, they share something kind of curious in common, which is that, picture a parent rocking their baby to sleep and singing a sweet, gentle melody. And if you listen to the lyrics of almost every lullaby, they're terrifying. Rockabye baby on the treetop, when the wind blows, the bough breaks, the kid comes crashing down with the cradle topping on his head. Anyway, how is that any way to soothe the child or put him to sleep? Until it dawned on me that it's a universal longing on the part of parents everywhere to instill crucial information into the minds of these little babies. So I adopted that as how I was going to tell the story of 400 years of American history, most of it pretty violent. So just a few more words to describe the lyric. Half Moon is the name of a Dutch ship sailed up the Hudson River in the early 1600s, ostensibly discovering a country that, hundreds of thousands of people had been living here for tens of thousands, if not a million years. Drinking gourd in the second verse refers to during the slave era, it was coded language. Escaped slaves were taught to navigate north according to the constellations, what we know now as the Big Dipper. Similarly, Peg Leg Joe is someone purportedly helping escaped slaves across rivers and north as far as Canada and to the free states. The third verse mentions a place called Paradise, and however you envision paradise in your mind. But in this instance, it's a specific geographic location in Las Vegas, Nevada, gambling capital of America, which also tragically was the siting of what is still to this day the largest mass shooting in American history, when a gunman on the top floor mowed down dozens of people attending a country music festival. Finally, the last verse deals with some of our ongoing insanity. The idea that we demonize the whole population of people just crossing the border to get work to support their families on land that we stole from their forefathers. Anyway, not to get concerned about any of this. It's just a lullaby. Don't you fret now, don't you cry. It's an American lullaby. Manifest destiny's a lie. It's an American lullaby. Half moon sailing through the night. Crack of a musket fired, first light. Always keep your powder dry. It's an American lullaby. Rest your head in dreams, you'll fly. It's an American lullaby. the sky. It's an American lullaby. Drinking gourd will point the way. Stealth by night and sleep by day. Big Leg Joe, you can rely. It's an American lullaby. Unclench your fist and dry your eye. It's an American lullaby. Judgment served from up on high. It's an American lullaby. One fine night in paradise, the God of thunder rolls the dice. 1,000 rounds light up the sky. It's an American lullaby. And restless dreams shall divide, while TV pundits prophesy. Best laid plans have gone awry. It's an American lullaby. He said, I cannot tell a lie. Crossed him hard and hoped to die. Still won't look you in the eye. It's an American lullaby. Close your eyes now, sleep is nigh. It's an American lullaby. Cross these shallows, do or die. It's an American lullaby. Headlights shining in the dark. Coyotes howl, the bloodhounds bark. You can hear the angels sigh. It's an American lullaby. Human kindness in short supply. It's an American lullaby. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me. Everybody be well. Take care.
This one came about when I was spending too much time on the internet, which is pretty much all the time, and it's called cyberspace. I learned about a wedding crashed by rebels in New Delhi. I learned about a guy who stashed 3 kilos in his belly. I learned Amelia Earhart may in fact still be alive, and that killer bees in Sicily are learning how to drive. I learned my friends are two-dimensional, every secret written. You don't need to tap their phones, there's nothing left that's hidden. I learned that cats are cute, lest you happen to be a mouse. I learned it only takes a suit to be elected to the House. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. I learned the world's a lovely mystery. I'm glad to tag along. As soon as someone's sure they're right, that's when I'm sure they're wrong. I learned that it's a better thing to build a bridge than burn it. I learned that people taught to turn the other cheek won't turn it, and that evidence and science, now at that we thumb our noses. The mention of a dying earth, the conversation closes, but pitchforks and streets of gold, that we're gonna swallow. Well, I learned not to judge, but pardon me if I don't follow. You can spend half your life tossing hopes into the air. 2 hands engaged in labor do more than 1,000 clasped in prayer. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. Well, I learned that looking good may have a lot to do with lighting. I learned about a war or two we had no business fighting. I learned the highest judges in the land can still be bought. I learned if you play footsie with the next stall, you'll be caught. And that you can repent once, but the second time you're toast. I learned the ones most guilty are the ones that yell the most. I learned that people cite the Constitution till they're blue, when the only amendment that they know is number 2. Some try to save the unborn through their righteous megaphone, but God help you after the first breath you take on your own. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, here's to the human race and all of its vanity. I learned that people swallow metal things more often than I'd guess. I learned that less is more, and that I'm sure of more or less. I learned that even when you think you are, you're not alone. I learned that Walmart shoppers are a breed unto their own. I learned that music I detest has other people smitten. The only time I have agreed, worst lyric ever written. Horse with no name, plants and birds and rocks and things. Well, I learned the body politic is now severely broken. I learned the best opinions are the ones that stay unspoken. Still, I sing this song to you despite my own advice. Believe me, soon it will be over and I'll sing something nice. I learned we got a stack of bills and nothing left to pay 'em. No more things to say and now 100 ways to say 'em. And I learned all this in an hour here at Laptop College. So much information and so little knowledge. I learned we need to make time for our husbands and our wives, and that we're drifting far from what's important in our lives. Not you and me, I'll make your motor run, don't you ever doubt it. But baby, hurry up and come so I can tweet about it. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, as goes the human touch. Yeah, I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity.
Contagious Insanity. Wow. What a great song, and what great words. Kenny White. That was a performance given in April of 2021 on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And Dean Friedman, November of 2023. And Ellis Paul, December of 2020. Three piano men here on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. We're watching some highlights of the first 4 years of our virtual online Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And again, I want to thank everybody who's been donating to our tip jar, and not only tonight, but in all the previous months. You've kept us alive. You've kept this program coming to you on the first Sunday of every month. Without your support, we wouldn't be here. And I love looking at the chat feature and seeing so many people watching and chatting with one another. And it's really great. We're looking forward to many more months to come. And I'll tell you about next month and October in just a little while. Stay tuned. You're in for a treat. But right now, let's get back to some music. This is a performance I remembered very well the night he performed it. It really knocked me out. And it's a song, well, you're about to hear it. I don't have to describe it to you, but this is a recording that at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, September of 2021. Jim Infantino. Let's roll the tape.
The very first time I played this in front of people was at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, the 9th annual one. In 1993, maybe. I've been playing it a lot since then. I'm addicted to stress, that's the way that I get things done. I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long, and I hang around like a bum. I think I'm going nowhere, and that makes me nervous. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me. It's the little things that get you. It's the little things that get you when you weren't paying attention. It's the little things that get you. It's the little things that get you. It's the little things that get you when you weren't paying attention. I'm trying to cut down on my caffeine consumption, so when I get up, I just have one cup of coffee, and I like to have another cup of coffee with my breakfast. And on the way to work, I like to get a cup of coffee, like the kind of cup of coffee that you get with a donut, except I never get the donut, I just have the cup of coffee. And when I get to work, I like to have a cup of coffee because I like to have a coffee when I'm talking on the phone. But it usually goes cold and I need to get another cup of coffee, and it's lunch, and I have an espresso or a matcha macchiato, and when I get back, it's not morning anymore, but so I have a Diet Cola and another Diet Cola, and by then I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling pretty sharp and I'm feeling pretty wired, and I'm getting things done. But right about 2, I get this little tiny migraine, and it starts by my eyes and it moves to the back of my neck and moves to the bottom of my spine, but doesn't get there till 5 or 6 o'clock, which is the end of the day. So I'm fine. 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 Except when I have to work late. When I have to work late. When I have to work late, which I usually do. I'm addicted to stress. That's the way that I get things done. If I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long and I hang around like a bum. I think I'm going nowhere, and that makes me nervous. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's had to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Yeah. What you gonna do when the coffee runs out? Gotta go get some more. What you gonna do when the coffee runs out? Gotta go get some more. I love to work. I love to run. I love to play real hard. I love to steal little things from the grocery store, like a piece of bubble gum, or sometimes I just stick my thumb in a peach and leave it there. I love to work, I love to run, I love to water ski, snowboard, jet ski, skydive, parasail, hang glide, rollerblade, mountain bike, bungee jump. I mean, I'd love to do these things if I ever had the time. I love to work. I love to work. I love to work out after work. I love to spend a little time with this woman I'm seeing, so we never get a little time to spend together, so we call each other up. We call each other up and we call each other up and we talk about work. But what I think I really love is to get up on myself on a little tiny island in the middle of the ocean, with just me and a book and a cellular phone and a volleyball with some blood on it. And I'd eat and I'd drink and I'd run and I'd sleep and I wouldn't do anything except swim all day. Except, my iPhone doesn't work underwater, really. Where are the sharks? Where are the sharks? And there's this kind of anemone that sticks in your foot and the poison goes up to your brain and you die. And sand, please. Sand, please. yuck! But actually, I think we're really relaxing, you know? Just me by myself in the middle of the ocean, and that's what I really love to do more than anything else, except I probably hate it. I'm addicted to stress. It's the way that I get things done. I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long, and I hang around like a bum. I think I'm going nowhere, and that makes me nervous. Everybody said to give me, but I feel alright. Everybody said to give me, but I feel alright. Everybody said to give me, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me, but I feel alright. Everybody said to give me, but I feel alright. Everybody said to give me, but I feel alright. Everybody, 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 everybody is out to get me, but I feel alright. Everybody's thinking about me.
So fun! It's about love.
It's about
Just
love.
say it.
That's-
Tell
that's-
the world.
that's
It's
what I'm-
about
it's
love.
about love. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. The song is called The Key of G. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
Well, I have no trouble to sleep at night, except the nights you're lying by my side. I can't shut my eyes. Most of the nights I'm led my 10-year life, but still gonna do it all again. I don't mind drinking coffee in the evening, playing in the key of G. Gonna keep it nice and simple. Gonna keep it good and clean. Gonna watch till I am able. Give you kisses on the cheek. Drink my coffee in the evening. Make it strong if it's not sweet. Well, I can play fast and I can play slow. We can take any speed you wanna go. Song we both know. All the ones I love the best. Simple tune will take away my breath. Ah, here we go. Drinking coffee in the evening, playing in the key of G. Gonna keep it nice and simple. Gonna keep it good and clean. Gonna walk till I am able. Give you kisses on the cheek. Drink my coffee in the evening. Make it strong if it's not sweet.
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 Make it strong.
Drink my coffee in the evening.
Playing in the key of G. Gonna keep it nice and simple. Gonna keep it good and clean. Gonna watch while I'm able. Give you kisses on the cheek. Drink my coffee in the evening. Make it strong if it's not sweet.
Make it strong if it's not sweet.
Make it strong if it's not sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So you may be familiar with Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk who recently passed away, and he wrote many books about mindfulness. And I love his work. And he had one of his many expressions is, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. And, you know, he talks about mindfulness as being this way of being present to the moment and trying to sort of still our minds, which are always rushing forward and backward and causing us to be anxious, but instead concentrating on the moment as a way of finding joy, really. And so he feels that joy is essential to life, to be a whole human being. It's not just a luxury, but it's really an essential thing in life. And so anyway, this is a song inspired by that, it's simply called Happiness. Slowing down your restless pace, since you got legs you have been racing, running from something or chasing some demon away. And so every day's the same old thing. When the bells of morning ring and you think that your life is like you're riding on a train, with happiness a destination that you may only reach one day, but there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. There's no place you need to run to. Every place is there inside you. Everywhere you long to be. And joy whenever you may know it, happens only in this moment, in this very cup of tea. So here and now is where you disembark, where you arrive and not depart, where you start to stop and feel you're not just riding on a train, with happiness a destination that you may only reach one day. Because there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So here and now is where you disembark, you arrive and not depart, where you start to stop and feel you're not just riding on a train, with happiness a destination that you may only reach one day, because there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Human being, where are you going? Is there any way of slowing down your restless pace?
Thank you. And that was Peter Mayer, and songs about stress, love, and happiness in that set. Peter was recorded in August of 2022, and the Rough and Tumble, who we heard before that, Mallory Graham and Scott Tyler, they're just such a fun couple and such great music. That was from November of 2023, last year, and hope that get them back one of these days. And Jim Infantino. And Stress, that was a song he's performed here September of 2021. I don't know how he could remember all those words, and that song involves so much: playing guitar, singing, remembering those words, and oh, what a great performance that was. They've all been great performances, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and everybody who puts this together is. We've had some great artists, and I think there's plenty more to come. We're getting in the home stretch, and I want to play this next set of tunes. And I think they're three very important artists who have a lot to say about our community, have a lot to say about music and about life. And I want to just play this set as it is. We're calling this set Taking It Home, and we'll begin with David Amram.
To them. This is one by Phil Oakes. I met when he first came to New York, played with him at the old Village headquarters, Folk City, just before he passed on. And this was one of his great, great songs, When I'm Gone. There's no place in this world where I belong when I'm gone. And I know I won't find the right from the wrong when I'm gone. And you won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't feel the flowing of the time when I'm gone. And I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. Won't be asked to even do my share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. And I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. My pen won't pour out a lyric line when I'm gone, so I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone, and I can't even suffer from the pain when I'm gone. Can't say who's to praise or who's to blame when I'm gone, so I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. Won't see the golden of the sun when I'm gone. The evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. Can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone, so I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And all my days won't be dances of delight when I'm gone. And the sands will be shifting from my sight when I'm gone. Can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone, so I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't be laughing at the lies when I'm gone, and I can't question how or when or why when I'm gone. Can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone, so I guess I guess I and we as well we'll all find a halfway to do it while we're here, so we can tell all the younger people coming up on the scene who think that the U.S. is getting so mean that there's eternal hope if we check out where we have been. And remember that since Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, the rents have been too high. And men and women have scuffled with one another and always are wondering why. So the solution for all of this is to be creative each and every day. And we're all born creative until we're talked out of it. So you can just say, I hope I can write a song like Phil's that won't be too long. And if we do, we'll all get together when we're gone. Now, some of you may be folknologists would say that's not the original melody, but Phil, as Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger and so many others said, the important thing were the words.
It's talking about where we find the things that can keep us afloat, keep us from being sunk in the sorrow. Talks about how a little tiny boat can keep away the whole ocean. And, for me, it's this little simple sound. I talk in the song about the frame around a painting being like that boat in the ocean. You can't change the whole world. You change the world around you. I'm looking at the paintings in this great museum. The news of one more shooting made me long to cry. I'd love to work for justice and for peace and freedom, but right now I need a refuge that is quiet and dry. So I come to see the beauty when the world is tragic. An umbrella stops the rain, but it won't dry the sky. But this play of light and shadow is transcendent magic, and it changes the whole universe, at least inside. In the ocean deep, when these waves are steep, every hope I keep betrays me. It's the beautiful that saves me. So I'm walking past these priceless works of famous artists, but in between those canvases, just cold white wall. These painters found a crucible for their catharsis, but they knew that no rendition could contain it all. I'm fearful of the riptide in the sea of sorrow, and I don't have any faith to make these waters part. And if I venture out there, I would drown a martyr. And it feels so overwhelming I can barely start. In the ocean deep, when these waves are steep, every hope I keep betrays me. It's the beautiful that saves me. Now the woman at the coat check hands me back my raincoat.
Stay warm out there, she smiles and looks me in the eye. I take her simple kindness like we're in the same boat, and we all need some protection from the storm outside. We are underneath the cloud of all this dark emotion, but I'll make it through the storm because I've warmed my heart. A wooden hull can rest above a deep, dark ocean, and a window into beauty is a place to start. In the ocean deep, when these waves are steep, every hope I keep betrays me. It's the beautiful that saves me. It's the beautiful.
Wow.
Here's an old song. Well, it's an old song of mine, but it's a song about a place called Turner Station, where a steel mill was erected back in the 40s to provide war materials. And people who used to pick tobacco found that there was better wages up at Turner Station, so they hightailed it up there. Turner Station.
Going up to Turner Station, if I have to hobo there. Going up to Turner Station, if I have to hobo there. Start a new life, brother. Believe I'll cut my hair. Everything done changed. My walk, talk, state of mind. Everything done changed. My walk, talk, state of mind. Since I made my decision, leave this town behind. Place up in Turner Station, make a preacher lay his Bible down. They got a place up in Turner Station, make a preacher lay his Bible down. Make a man forget the system, keeping his face in a permanent frown. To Turner Station, if I have to hobo there, I do declare. Going up to Turner Station, I might have to hobo there. Start a new life, brother. Believe I'll cut my hair.
Well, long live the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and long live every good song that anybody's ever sung. and all of you beautiful people, well, stay well, as Odetta used to say.
That was Eric Bibb. That was a performance he gave here in February of 2021. And we also heard David Wilcox from March of 2022 and David Amram from October of 2020. Now, we have one more song that we want to share tonight. And it's a gentleman who was a friend not only to this festival, but to many of us who were part of the folk music community. He passed away on July 17th. Happy Traum. Happy was a guest several times on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and his name is really synonymous with the New York folk scene. He was born in the Bronx. As a teenager, he would frequent the village. He learned at the feet of some of the legends in our folk music world. He recorded, became friends with Bob Dylan and so many others. And in the early 60s, Happy was an integral part of it. At one point of his life, he was also the editor of Sing Out magazine, moved up to Woodstock, New York, became part of that music scene. He helped formulate a band with all those incredible musicians in the Woodstock area, the Woodstock Mountains Review. And that's where I first met him. We did a group interview once, and that's a story for another day. But over the years, he has meant so much to us. And towards the end of his life, he was doing a program about Greenwich Village and his life, sharing photographs and songs and memories. And I know there are some recordings out there of it, and I hope it will find another life now that Happy is no longer with us. But we'd like to play one more piece before we end our show tonight. And this features an appearance that Happy made at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival in July of 2020. I'm sorry, July of 2022. And he is performing with Rod MacDonald and Mark Dan, who just happened to be in the neighborhood with him that night. And they joined Happy on this song that I'm sure many of us will know. So we play this now in memory of Happy Traum. Our condolences to his family, his friends, and we're all going to miss him, but his memory will always be here. Here now, the late Happy Traum.
There's a bright side somewhere. I learned it from Mary Flower, who you probably all are familiar with, a wonderful singer, songwriter, and mostly great fingerstyle guitar player. So this is my version. There's a bright side somewhere. There's a bright side somewhere. There's a bright side somewhere. Let's not rest until we find it. There's a bright side somewhere. There'll be more joy somewhere. More joy somewhere. Let's not rest until we find it. There'll be more joy somewhere. I'll pick one. And there's more love somewhere. Sing it with me. There's more love somewhere. Let's not rest until we find it. There's more love somewhere. More peace. There's more peace somewhere. More peace somewhere. Let's not rest until bright side somewhere. There's a bright side somewhere. Let's not rest until we find it. There's a bright side somewhere. Let's sing that again. Bright side. There's a bright side somewhere. Come on, let me hear it. There's a bright side somewhere. Let's not rest until we find it. There's a bright side somewhere. Yeah, there's a bright side somewhere.
Happy Traum. He passed away on July 17th at the age of 86. And again, he's someone that will always be inspiring us. The music, of course, will live on. And we dedicate tonight to his memory. And what can I say? It's been an amazing evening going back and sharing some of these memories of some outstanding performances. And there's more to come. I can guarantee that. We are going to be back on Sunday, September 1st with an all-live show. And it won't be just me. It'll be the performers as well. And we're still working on the lineup, but I can tell you right now, we have Roy Zimmerman, Robert Ross, Colleen Cattell. And then in October, on Sunday, October 6th, it's our annual Phil Oakes Song Night. It'll be co-hosted by the one and only Sunny Oakes, who is just a real treasure. And she's put together a lineup which will feature Rod MacDonald, who will be here again, Phil Odgers, who you may not be familiar with. He's an English singer-songwriter, and he just put together a superb album of Phil Oakes songs, and he'll be here live from England on October the 6th. Also, Reggie Harris will be here, Chris Matthews, Pat Wichter, and Joe Jenks, Greg Greenway, and Pat Wichter, who you all remember from the group Brother Sun. All of them will be here, all friends of Sonny's and all performers in the annual Phil Oakes Song Nights who have toured with Sonny, and they'll be doing this virtual show then. And hopefully much more to come. But again, it's all because of folks like you who are watching and listening. If you'd like to help us and support this festival, you can go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, and you can find out how you could donate. You can mail us a check. You can donate electronically as well. I think we probably have some links in our chat feature on both Facebook and YouTube. But however you can do to help us, we greatly appreciate it. And again, thanks to everybody who has donated tonight. You folks are amazing. Well, I'd like to thank our incredible sound person, John Ziola. Not just sound, video, audio. He's running the whole shebang here tonight. John Ziola does a great job. And Rod MacDonald, who is one of the co-founders of this event and also put all these songs together for us while on vacation, mind you. That's dedication. The one and only Ray Misek, who is also a co-founder of this event. Andrea Klosky, who does such incredible work behind the scenes and gets all the website and everything together. We want to thank all these wonderful people. And I'm Ron Olesko. I'm with folkmusicnotebook.com. If you haven't heard it, you can check us out. We're a 24/7 internet radio channel. In fact, I'm hosting a show there in just a little less than 25 minutes. So you can tune into that as well. Thank you all for being with us tonight. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. We'll see you in September, Labor Day weekend. Be right here. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, wherever you go, make sure you carry a song in your heart. Good night, everybody.